Welcome to the future.
Guitar part. Some more drums coming in here. So I was surprised that when I found that little thing I must have done 15 years ago. So let me give you some background. I got involved with this about 15 years ago when I was doing my counseling internship at Child Guidance Family Solutions, well, in those days Child Guidance, and I ended up working in a special program for kids that were the most seriously challenged in the child guidance system. And they hired me because in the interview I said I did music. Now, and they never had that in that program before. The other reason they hired me is because nobody else wanted it. The most severely challenged kids in the system. So, the 12, they were basically 8 to 13, mostly 9 to 13, and of course the 10, the double digits, 10, 11, 12, they wanted to make sure that they weren't impressed with my guitar. But one of the things I did, in the individual session was, what should I listen to? Tell me, I'm a musician. What should I listen to? Tell me some songs from today. If I'm going to know more about you, what do I listen to? So I started listening, and the thing that I noticed was that there was a whole lot of electronic, non-acoustic production in the music that they were listening to. So what's that about? Well, I knew there was this thing called looping, so I went and I searched out to find out more about that, and I came up with this program called, it was by Sony, it was called Acid Music Studio. Pause for LSD jokes. Okay. All right, so, and then what I found I could do, just as a side note, what this meant in counseling was that this thing was so easy to use, as you're going to see, that I could actually kids, 8, 9, 10, maybe I'd do the putting the loops on, but they'd help, select them. And then we might then record their rap or whatever over the accompaniment. But what I found out as a counselor is, they were a little bit more willing to kind of talk about their stuff if it was, like in a rap or rhythmized poetry. So I was like, oh, and the other thing is this turned out, as you're going to see, I'm going to do a song that we all know later on this. But I just, wow, this is amazing, because this puts music making in the hands of people on a broader scale than ever before. And a lot of these kids who had succeeded with a lot of things, especially school, boy, they paint some loops, they do their lyrics, we make them a CD, wow. They were like, that was a big deal for them. And so I said, boy, this is pretty cool. I think I want to learn more about it. And so that's how I got involved with looping way back in the day. So this Sony program, a little background, some more history. Sonic Foundry invented acid in the way to code a music file. Sony thought, save us some work, bought them out. And so Sony ended up with Acid Music Studio, and then Acid Pro. Insert professional LSD joke here. Okay. So Acid Pro is one I'm going to use a lot tonight, but I just wanted to show you this one, or that is Acid Pro. Excuse me. So here's the big deal. What these guys figured out how to do. It's called an acidized file. That's where the name comes from. You take 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 6, 7, 8 probably is about the longest, 8 measure recording of a guitar, a piano, a synthesizer, drums. You apply this coding to it, and then you can throw it in here, you can speed it up, and the pitch doesn't go up like it does on tape. You can slow it down, and the pitch doesn't go down like it does on tape. So you have pitch preservation. It also syncs up in time. So if this one was recorded at say 150 beats per minute, and this one was recorded at 100 beats per minute, you throw them all in here at 120, and they're all going to be at 120. And they all sync up, so when you bring this in and measure 13, beat 1, by God, it comes in and measure 13, beat 1, it syncs up with everything else. So again, and the other thing that they did, see these little notches? That tells you how long the loop is, the clip is. It also tells you repeat here. This is where you repeat. And this will be important a little bit later on when I show you how you actually put them on there. But this was just so cool because you can go, or you could chop them up, make them really small. But that's up for another time. Now the main drawback with Acid Music Studio, the light version, which incidentally available these days for $59, just saying. It was really hard to set effective levels for vocals, for them to do their vocals over. You got clipping, distortion, okay. Sony Acid Music Pro, no such problem. So just retail information, the light version goes to $59 on the open market. Sony Acid Pro's now going for $149, but if you buy the $59 one and you screw around with it a little bit, they're always going to say, hey, you want to upgrade for $99? And what you get for that extra $10 is they give you a whole bunch of loops. Just saying. But our former board member, Elaine Ohm, we were talking about this a few years ago, and she says that she does use Sony Acid Pro for her recording of her acoustic guitar and her voice, because it's easy to use and she can get accurate levels and all of that. So I'm liking this one more and more as I go along with it. So, and then another just FYI is that in 2016, a company out of Germany called Magix, Magix, Sony sold all their stuff to Sony Creative Software, sold all of this to Magix. So now if you go to get this software online, Sony Acid Music Studio, it's going to take you to the Magix site, so don't get confused. All right, so let's see, I told you that, I told you that, I told you that. Yeah, okay, example time. Here what I've done is I put in one kind of drum loop, another kind of drum loop, upright bass, fretless bass, and another cool little thing you have on Sony is that this one here with the little line, that'll always make it play from the beginning. Whereas this one, it'll play from wherever the cursor is, but we'll start at the beginning. Here we go. Going to drop out. Here comes the other bass. So, a couple of tricks. This is how easy it is to work with this. I can make it longer. I can bring it back. I can make it fade. Wink. Make them fade. I'm going to bring in a guitar here. I already loaded this guitar. And what does it do? I will fade the guitar too. Start it all right there, and here, oh, let's start it before. Here we go. Other bass. And it's fading out. Now let me ask you, who in here knows how to write out individual parts for orchestra, for an orchestration? You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. All right, I'll show you how I did it. I cheated. A couple years ago, oh, wrong one, my bad. A couple years ago, about 2014, over at the JCC, I was working with a preschool, and it was Passover time. They said, they're going to do Seder of Creation this year. I said, what's that? So we'll tell you, we want you to do music. So this is what I came up with for Creation Day 1. It turned out being a slideshow with orchestration, and all from loops. Just the string to finish. These are actually called the Pillars of Creation by NASA. Eagle. So I don't know anything about orchestrating, but I was able to put that together. It was kind of fun. It's like, whoa, that's something I didn't know I could do. It was really fun. Here's something I did for Paul Simon's Late in the Evening. And so these are the first 2-3 verses. There's a little break in there and then the finish. All right, and this is kind of cool right here. This little loop right here, that's Latin horns. They're kind of fun. You'll hear it. Here we go. First thing I remember, I was lying in my bed. I couldn't have been much more than 1 or 2. I remember there's a radio coming from the room next door. My mother laughed the way some ladies do. Well, it's late in the evening and the music's seeping through. The next thing I remember, I'm walking down the street. I'm feeling alright. I'm with my boys and with my troops, yeah. Down along the avenue couple guys were shooting pool, and I heard the sound of acapella grooves, yeah, singing late in the evening, and all the girls on the stoops. Then I learned to play some lead guitar. I was underage in a funky bar, and I stepped outside to smoke myself a J. When I come back into the room, well, everybody just seemed to move, and I turned my amp up loud and I began to play. It was late in the evening, and I blew that room away. First thing I remember when you came into my life, said I want to get that girl no matter what I do. Well, I guess that I've been in love before, and once or twice I've been on the floor, but I've never loved no one the way that I love you. And it was late in the evening, and all the music seeping through. That's the kind of fun you can have with loops if you have a little time on your hands.
Welcome to the future.